Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Jeff, and alongside me is the Modern Havoc to my Raven. It's Max and Craig, everybody. Max.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? I think we lost Craig.
He's just on a
Still
lag,
here.
I think. Oh, there we go. We got anyone with us tonight?
There's a couple people coming in.
All right. Well, welcome, guys. We're going to have a fun episode. We're kind of in a little bit of a cluster right now. We're getting it all worked out, but bear with us. We'll slowly but surely build upon the live. So we got a lot of topics to go over, a lot of hot topics. If you came because you saw in the chat room, our topics have changed slightly. Number 4 is now with the whole Magnus stuff he said on Busted Open Radio. We're going to go over that. And then we're going to do a little game called Trolling Hard Challenge that Craig came up with. Our friend Lucha is going to join us, and it'll be a fun game to make fun of the trolls, make fun of ourselves, and have a laugh. So if you guys are here, give us a shout out in the stream, or in the chat, excuse me. And I'll throw it to Craig, and we can get going.
Yes, it's me, it's MIB, Craig, aka Mr. Impact Log. And if you don't know by now, we have our YouTube channel. We're on Twitter, at TNAIW channel. Sub to us on YouTube. We'll find all of our stuff that we've put out in the past. We're here, there, and everywhere. We also have a Cashapp, which I'll post a link to in the chat at some point during the night. If you can help out in any way, please do. We really appreciate it. So without any further ado, let's get into the hot topics. And starting off with, what do you make of the Sammy Guevara issues with Impact Wrestling? I think Max started last week, so I guess to Jeff this week.
Did he? Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, man. I know I said this in our TNAIW group chat, but I'm not a fan of Sammy's in general. His work is good. Never saw the real thing everyone else saw him in, and it's not a bias. I just never was a big fan, and I think Max could attest to differently. But it's also it's hard because I don't like to judge people based on or characters. Let me say that. I'm trying to separate the character. Is the character good compared to the person? And the reason I bring that up is because we're obviously talking about issues, and he's talking about what his character should do and what he was presented with. And I think this plays into number 4 as well, but the general vibe of someone going to Impact, I'm guessing, to hone his skills a little more or start some kind of change in his character, and he, before he even gets there, tries to change the script. Now, granted, obviously we're not there, but some things were very much confirmed as far as him not liking what was put out for him, what was agreed upon between AEW and Impact. I just, until we know the truth, I won't say too much on his character, but his character obviously has come into question multiple times prior. I don't think, if the rumors are true, that him coming in and winning the X Division Championship, bringing it to AEW and saying he won't defend it on Impact would be smart in anyone's future. It doesn't work for. I don't know. I don't like the idea, obviously, being an Impact fan, but I don't like it from a storyline purpose as well. And I've defended the lack of wins Impact has been getting in this storyline. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, a sense of what is true. But I will say this. I did see a lot of people say, oh, he was going to be in Decay. He was not going to be in Decay. When people said that he was Black Taurus took the spot of Sammy, or what was booked for Sammy, you'll see that in the upcoming tapings. I confirmed that with somebody. But yeah, that's my general opinion. It doesn't faze me either way. he's not a big enough star to where I feel spurned, and he's not a deal breaker when it comes to this relationship. And that's the key here. Is Impact upset? Is AEW upset? Maybe at him, but not each other. And that's the most important part.
I mean, for me, I love Sammy Guevara. I think he's amazing. I think he's going to be a massive star. I don't like the way he handled things, though. I have no problem with him saying, hey, I don't like this storyline. But one, it should be brought up prior to them agreeing on it. And two, if you don't like it, you don't cancel your flight and instead of getting there a day earlier, get set to get there in a couple hours earlier and then start texting the people at Impact. If you really don't like the storyline and you think it needs to be changed, you fly in when you're supposed to and you talk with people face to face. Say, hey guys, I don't like the storyline. I want X, Y, and Z to happen instead. And then you go back and forth that way. You don't basically say, hey, I don't like the storyline. Here's my ideas. I'll be there 25 minutes before I'm ready to go. Like, that to me is just unprofessional, and that's what I have a real problem with. I mean, people change storylines all the time. That's not a big deal. I don't have a problem. Apparently, in AEW, you can have a lot of input into your storyline. So I think the fact that he said, hey, guys, I don't like this, but I want to do something different, that's awesome. I'm fine with that. But there's professional ways to go about it. Like if...
No, I agree with
that. Yeah,
like
in my job, if they wanted me to do something and I was like, hey, I don't like that, I think that can be done better, I wouldn't show up 5 minutes before I'm supposed to start what I'm doing and be like, hey, guys, I want to change that. I would so that's my real issue with it, is just the way he went about it.
Yeah, no, see, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, people should be able to and he didn't know Impact is straightly booked by the bookers, which, whatever. Even if they are night and day different in booking, common courtesy and common sense would say, hey, just do exactly what you said. Hey, if I have an issue with it, go to my normal flight and deal with it face to face like a man would do, or an adult would say that. And that's the problem with him since day one. Remember, he was in Impact for a hot second. He was in AAA for a hot second. So all these places, and he burned a lot of bridges because of, I'm guessing, personality thing. It seems something little like this always comes up, little big things as we call them, and they kind of add up. So it's hard for me to, like I said, separate the narrative from his talent. It's okay. Maybe he will be a star. But at this rate, look at Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart had all the ability, has all the ability, had, everything, the last name. He had everything going for him. But the outside stuff really affected him to the point where he didn't reach his full potential. And then even gets a chance to come back and fucks that up as well. So, yes, does his talent transcend, and could it be better than his attitude? Possibly, but not right now. And it's not worth it. The other thing I do want to mention quick is, I agree with what you're saying. The only thing I would think is, if my boss, my owner of the company I work for, says, hey, man, you're going to dump the Inner Circle, go to Impact for a while and do X, Y, and Z, and boom. Did they not have that conversation?
No, and I agree. I think that's weird. And I will say this. His whole winning the title and say I'm not defending that on Impact is weird to me, because at least in my opinion, the natural progression with his storyline from watching AEW is Chris Jericho kicks him out of the Inner Circle, or he leaves the Inner Circle, and Jericho says, you're banned from Impact, or from AEW. You're not allowed on this show ever again. So what does Sammy do? Well, I can't be on AEW. I'll go to Impact and I'll wrestle there. So it would make more sense for him to win the title and then be like, psh, whatever, you banned me from AEW. I'm an Impact guy now. That would make more sense in the storyline than saying, I'm not going to defend the title on Impact. Like, cool, motherfucker, then we'll just ban you. We strip you, got it, have a nice day. Like, that's just...
and this is the thing with him that... I don't know his age. If we could... is he in his young 20s, mid-20s?
I'll Google it real quick.
Yeah. No, they didn't want. Answering no, they didn't want Sammy to join Decay. It was an issue. There are people who thought that.
No, and the way it came about, they said that they gave his spot to Black Taurus. People were like, "What?" But what people didn't understand is they're talking about the feud. Like, he can feud with, I don't know, Sammy
Well-
Callahan, whatever. I'm just making somebody up. That could have been their storyline, and they say, you know what, you're gone. Cool, we'll just have Black Tauros take that feud instead.
Well, the thing is what people aren't putting in consideration before we move on to number 2 here. It's not like Black Taurus was just like, oh, I did the last tapings and I'm just walking around Tennessee.
Yeah.
He was here
he's in the company, so they're like, hey, we'll
Right.
give him a bigger storyline than we had planned. So yeah, no, that makes sense. So.
But what's funny is the previews for the next few episodes have like Black Taurus and X Division kind of gauntlets and number 1 contenderships, and that's why, because obviously that was Sammy's spot.
Yeah.
But Craig, what are we doing with number 2 here, bud?
Yeah, on to number 2, and it's what do we make of the Sasha and Kiera Hogan issue that the fans seem to have made up?
I mean, what is the issue? So the only thing I saw was you argue with somebody on Twitter, Jeff, where you decided,
Me?
I think it was you, whoever, where you had posted, we're doing obviously the Black History Month thing, you had posted something about Kiera Hogan, and some moron decided to be like, Sasha's better. And then you were like, cool, man, but this isn't about that. This is about giving props to this person. And he just kept shoving his head further and further up his own ass.
Yeah, and then he blocked me, and we deleted him. I only deleted the one that was mean, and it was about doing his mom in the butt, which was really immature of me. So I apologize about that. But all the rest are up there for you to see. But yes, you're right. The guy. So essentially, going back, I'll describe the drama of what it is, and then how stupid that guy was to say anything on a Black History Month post about someone we're trying to give props to, not tear anyone else down. We're not saying she's better than Sasha.
Yeah, we're just saying, to him.
Here you go. Yeah. So anyways, long story short, I don't know where the origin of it started, if it was a fan thing or not, but Kiera kind of pushed the narrative a little bit, kind of doing some digs on Twitter. And if you look at the changes in Sasha, as Kiera changed her hair color, and all that, I could see the similarities. Do I think she was watching Impact and saying, oh, I'm going to steal that? I'd go 50-50. You don't really know. It also could be a WWE thing. Who knows? But yeah, that's essentially it. So the fans of Sasha attack Kiera fans, or Impact fans in general. You got half Impact fans that are like, what is this? Why are we debating? And then you have the other who are sticking up for Kiera. And that's, essentially what I was saying was,
I mean,
it's
looking. I definitely think it's a stupid feud. Looking at them, they're similar in the fact that they're similar body styles. So it's not like. So I guess if you just, maybe people think that they're like that's the Impact version. Sasha Banks' character. I mean, it's hard because if you look at it, like any heel character, realistically, for the most part, if you break it down, is going to be similar. Like Charlotte Flair, when she was a heel, is similar to every it's just the way they are. Like so I don't want to sit there and say that they're similar type characters. They're just heels. Or when Sasha is a heel, that's her kind of thing. But I mean, they're both completely different characters. I think both of them are amazing. Yeah. Personally, my favorite Sasha Banks iteration was when she was the boss in NXT when she played that up. Yeah. And I like the way Kiera Hogan is now as opposed to before. So I just think there's some people that play off heel characters. So they're both really good heels, and maybe it's just as horrible as this is going to sound, maybe it's just like, hey, they're both African American, they're both superstars, so naturally they're going to get compared to each other. And if that's the case, that's really stupid because they are completely different wrestlers. But that's just, I don't know.
That's my point I have here, which is the dumbest thing, and I want to make this clear. One, I want to say to whoever was in our chat, someone had said that Sasha was a model turned whatever, or insinuated that she was just another like diva-esque. Sasha can go, and that's being unbiased. Let's put that out there. She's been a fan since she was young. She's not coming into the game late. She's always loved the business. I will defend her there. Now, is her fan base toxic? Yeah, critical listing. Thank you. Yes. Her fan base tends to be toxic, but whose isn't nowadays as far as WWE and AEW?
I was going to say, if I was a fan of a wrestler that got effed over as bad by WWE as some of the WWE wrestlers have, I'd be toxic too. Because like you got to think about it. Like you
Right.
look at some of the stuff she's done, and
Yeah.
her championship reign that she has now is longer than her other three combined. So like she was getting screwed over. So I
Sure.
understand them getting like defensive real quick, but
Yeah, I don't though, because I'm an Impact fan, and I've been for 20. What are we at now? 18 years of getting shit on by people.
116 years. It feels like.
So yeah. So let's there's a difference between being upset with WWE and then taking it out on other people's bad favorites. Now, the only thing I will say to that is exactly what you were saying about them both being black or African American, however you want to word it. The fact that they're both African American with blue hair is the only reason we are talking about this.
Yeah.
And that's disgusting to me. And I'm not saying that for any other reason than this. Who are we going after next? Marge Simpson? You know what I mean? Like someone with color and blue hair, that's what we're going off of?
Yeah.
Who was there? If Bayley dyed her hair blue instead of Sasha,
no one would be talking about this.
No one would be talking. And that's the point of this. It's dumb.
When Kiera had orange hair, no one was comparing her to Becky Lynch. Like, it wasn't.
right. And that's what it comes down to. Is just, I think the one-track mind of people wanting to always say, you can't be like mine, or we're so... It's silliness. It's a silly narrative, and I am so mad. And the person used a burner account, so I hope I can find who the hell it was. But who don't take the time or any of ours away by commenting on our Black History Month post and being an asshole.
I can find it because he didn't block me. I may have blocked him.
All right.
Hold on.
Craig, let's go to number 3 while he looks for trolls, which is fitting.
Yeah.
Seeing what game we're playing today.
Very true. So number 3 we have the Knockouts tag team titles overshadowing Diana and her Knockouts title run.
Who's this?
I think it was supposed to be you, but since I asked you a question, I'll start this.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
At this point, yes, but that's okay. Because right now, the Knockouts tag titles are new. So you need to push them to the front of of everything so that people get invested in them. If Impact would put out the Impact television title, whatever the fuck we're going to call it, I would expect them for the first couple months that title came out to make that the major storyline on their show so that people get invested and care about it. The worst thing is to bring out a title and be like, we got champions, yeah. Cool, man. Fuck those guys. Never going to see them again. Like WWE did with the old Cruiserweight title back in the Attitude Era. We got a champion. Cool. Like, so right now it is, but it's only because they want to get interest built for the titles. And once they establish that and people are excited about them, then I think you'll see the Knockouts heavyweight title go back to the front. I think it's just a temporary thing right now, and I think it's designed to get an interest built. Back to troll hunting.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, and there's not much more I could go on there. It's right. The problem is when you're a fan of a television show and you tune in every week to maybe see a certain, whatever it may be, pick a television show, insert the scenario here, but then you start tuning in every week and they start focusing on something else you don't as much like. I could see maybe where someone says that, but if you like women's wrestling, I would hope you like both women's and women's tag. If you're like, I don't know. I just don't see where someone would come in and say this is a problem unless, it gets wiped away. Now, I saw Lucha say that in there. Basically, Deanna went through everybody so far. So, she's in that little weird thing with the veterans and Jordan. It's not like it's being held by Eric Young or Diener or somebody. It's not maybe now that'd be cool. But back in the day, it's not like they're throwing a wrench into the women's movement.
Yeah.
We're still spotlighting something else. Here, I'll put it this way. This is a good problem to have. If we're going to say we are the ones that are taking women's tag team belts or tag in general seriously. This is just a nod to the fact that they did their job. So yeah, I guess you could look at it both ways. But I think, like, and I've said this a lot in the chat, a lot of these storylines you can tell were either cut short or kind of faded away because obviously this New Japan AEW thing, I don't think it was last minute, but there's moving parts in it. And if you say, hey, Deanna, let's save her because we want her to face off against a librarian or whoever the hell they got there, then that's what it is. So we just have to wait and be patient, and hopefully they find another group to go after the tag titles, though, because I'm getting worried about those already. So I'm surprised this.
I found the troll.
That. Okay.
Are we announcing who the troll was?
Yeah, go.
Okay, it's Thick. It's at Thick THIC THIC.
Okay.
That was the troll that decided to just insult the fact that you posted Kiera Hogan.
Well, the game that we're gonna play after the break, after the hot topics, is in your honor. There, then thick the. All right, what do we got for number 4 here?
So number 4, Brutus Magnus spilling the tea. In reference to what Magnus said on the podcast.
Yeah, so
you.
Craig, he was on Busted Open, right? Is that?
No, it was Keeping It 100.
Oh, he took over for Conan. I thought he was helping out with Bully Ray. Okay, all right. So it was on Keeping It 100, which is a much more lenient thing as well. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kylie leaving as well. It probably hurt as well, but. Yeah, so first of all, I put Brutus Magnus on that thing because I hate him still, and I want to remind everyone of the worst.
Is it just now? Is it just now Magnus? Is that what? Does he actually have a first?
Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis.
Yeah,
I forgot what his real name was.
It's Nicky James is what
Nicky
I
call
James. He's a turd. And I know a lot of people like him, but obviously I am holding a grudge for many different reasons. But yeah, so someone who always, you could look at this 2 ways. One, you could say, well, it's Nick and he hates Impact, so I'm going to shit on it. The other side you could say is maybe he's telling the truth because he does still have fans or friends that are in Impact. You got to figure James Storm, Chris Sabin, all these people that have wrestled with him for years. They have to, ODB even, there has to be some kind of camaraderie there, especially if they all live in Nashville, right? So maybe it's true. And what he was saying essentially was that some Impact talent in the back were very perturbed, or that the fact that AEW guys, a select ones, so we'll do the math in a second. Select ones are coming in and kind of snubbing or being a snob to the Impact guys as if they are better. Well, one, nobody that has come there besides Kenny Omega is better than anyone on our roster. I'll get that out there, and I don't think that's bias. We've had Private Party. We've had Matt Hardy. We've had Kenny Omega, and who am I missing?
And it would have been Sammy.
Oh, it would have been Sammy. Okay. And then what was that, Craig?
Tony Khan's been there too. Tony Khan was there.
Oh, Tony Khan, yeah. Well, Tony Khan films some stuff in either at Skyway Studios or in his own little thing. So I doubt he's rubbing people the wrong way. Because remember, the issue, even with the Sammy stuff, has been the talent, not the management, allegedly, from what we know. So, yeah, I mean, if it's true, I mean, them are the only people that were there. So I don't know if Private Party would have a ego. I don't see why that. They seem like not up and coming dudes. Matt Hardy is Matt Hardy. I don't know what he would. I think he said all that he has needed to say about Impact in the past. So I don't know why he would go there with an attitude. So is anyone in your, well, let's go to Max. Max, what do you think? Who could you see? Where is this coming from?
Here's the thing. I mean, it could have been Kenny Omega. I also don't know. I don't know if there's other people that show up with them. Like, does Kenny travel with the Young Bucks? Like, he's friends with all these guys, so are they maybe there with him in the filming, or is it because of COVID, is it locked off? Like, that's what I'm wondering, because Kenny Omega to me seems like a pretty chill dude. Like,
well, especially when your friends.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's
Yeah.
got friends that work there. So him being like, I'm better than you guys. Like, bitch, like, Anderson and Gallows work there. Don Callis works there. So it seems dumb that he would be like, I'm better than you guys when his friends, Anderson and Gallows, chose to sign with them. So that seems weird to me that he would think he was better than them. So I'm wondering if I don't think it would be Private Party. Like, those guys already, I mean, maybe because they came in and got a tag team, but I don't know. It just, maybe they're hearing, maybe it's not so much guys who are there saying they're better. Maybe it's what they're hearing from people like in the AEW locker room think about this whole like cross promotion thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Because I don't know. And I don't know Kenny Omega. Maybe he's a giant douchebag. But he seems pretty cool. His interactions with we want to call him Austin Creed, Xavier Woods on Twitter and stuff seem like friendly banter. So nothing was ever seen like he's like taking like douchey shots at people.
Right.
So I mean, he's a giant nerd, and I mean that in a good way. Like, so I don't know. I would think if anything, it would be more maybe people who aren't there, who have maybe they've asked to do it, who said, yeah, I'm not doing that. And then you get back to, hey, Chris Jericho, Impact asked for Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho said, screw you guys. And then it gets back to the Impact locker room. I'm just using Chris Jericho as an example. Maybe it's something like that.
Yeah. I think his wording was as if it was in their locker room, though. So the one thing that I would say, unless they're just speaking of Sammy specifically, which is weird because he didn't even make it to the locker room, is I would say he's full of shit. I mean, maybe he's just pushing a narrative, and he could be doing that to play into the feud that we're having with them, or he's just being Nick Aldis. Either way, we're saying his name. Either way, he's getting what he wants out of this. But at the same time, would this be a problem if it's true? Yes. Because I don't care if you're an AEW fan or Impact fan, you got to be unbiased about this. We are on TNT because of AEW, right? But AEW is not staying on TNT because of the quality of their product. They're staying on because of the deal, and they're happy with the ratings for the most part. I think we beat them in the creative department. I think we beat them for most of the roster. But once again, that's my perspective. So I don't think it's necessarily the feud of it. I think everyone understands what they bring to the table. I don't think the Impact guys are all in the corner like timid. I just don't know who else it would be. And who would go in there? Now, could you say Private Party went in there? And this is, once again, all speculation. If it is them or who else, because there's been very minimal interaction, maybe they go in there and do the same thing. Maybe they go in there and they're in that number one contenders match and they pitch a few things that they think will work better. Or they don't understand their role when talking. Because that match was against...
Anderson and Gallows.
Yeah, but that was
was it...
Storm and Sabin were in. And Storm and Sabin are both veterans, are both friends of Aldis, I would imagine. And James just worked with him in NWA as well. So if I had to guess, it could be something as simple as Private Party coming in as rookies and telling the other four what they kind of want to do in the match, or getting their shit over, or thinking they know better. And I'll have to go back and watch that match and see if there was any weirdness there. But
it could have also been a misunderstanding. Once again, if in AEW you're allowed to say, "Hey, I want to," "Hey, can we do?" Like, if you're allowed to throw out ideas, and in Impact you don't. If they come into Impact, they don't realize that's how it works. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. I don't know. Things happen. I don't know. I liked Private Party. I don't think it was them. Matt Hardy, unless he's still bitter about everything that happened. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Keep our ears to the ground.
All right, let's move on to number 5. Last but not least.
Fifth and final. Will the Rainmaker, Okada, be the next New Japan star to to come to Impact.
I hope so.
Who is that? You or me?
That's me. I hope so.
Okay.
And I hope he wins the Impact title. I hope he redeems his horrible booking from his first run. And I just think it would be a cool like redemption arc because he was handled so horribly the first time. Just like his run was super unmemorable. I just think it would be really cool for him to show up and now the star he is in Impact and just be like just be there and have a big impact in the company. I just think it would be a really cool thing.
Yeah, no, I'll start off by saying this. Do I think he'll be the next one? I don't know. I mean, it depends. Yeah, there you go. It could be Gorilla of Destiny. It could be anybody. We don't know. You obviously just saw Finn Juice this last episode come in and do their thing. So I don't know who's going to be next. Do I think he comes? Yes, I think he'll come because what the hell is the point of a New Japan deal if we're not getting eventually the best of the best? ROH got Okada. I think we would too. And AEW as well. Now, as far as him winning the title, if it's a good match, if it's a him versus Swan, they tear it up and, they split the wins and Okada wins it and defends it and it's treated with respect, I could care less. If it's just going to be something we throw on someone because they're the name, kind of like we did with when Penta first came in here, we needed to get the belt off of, who was it, Aries?
Was it Aries or was it Del
it was
Rio?
Aries because they had... No, Del Rio was supposed to be Aries' opponent.
Okay. And
then they put the Lucha Brothers in a three-way with Aries, if memory serves. But either way, I would be excited for that. Just because Okada is what he is. He is a superstar. He is a 5-star match waiting to happen. His gimmick is pretty familiar and cool, and we probably still have the money in the rafters, I imagine, at the Universal Studios from when the Pope used to use it. And that's the one thing I want to say in my facial expressions is I never got the disrespect out of how they treated Okada. Do I understand that, they gave him essentially a driver role with a mask that is kind of a stereotype because of Green Hornet and Bruce Lee? Sure. Is it racially insensitive? Depends how you look at it. It's not like they were making him say broken English or anything. He was just the driver for whatever. Now, could it have been better? Yes. But all of these people that are talking about this and still talk about it and argue about it weren't watching then, or they weren't because they didn't know what was going on. I don't know how to word that better, because Okada was not the Okada Rainmaker.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah,
he wasn't even close. He was a young boy, and he was over here just learning the American way, like Sonata did, and Ishimori. That's what you do. They come over here, and people. Yes, thank you. People act like we're supposed to give a young boy the heavyweight championship. His talent wasn't there. People want to say that, we knew. You didn't know.
No.
Look at Nakamura.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that he was necessarily booked horribly. It just, if you look at like that point, it was just a bad run in Impact. Like it's not like
they could have done more with him. And had they, it's the same with Consequences Creed, I guess a little bit less, but or a little bit more with him because he turned out to be he had a success in TNA and then in WWE as well, but uber amount more. If we knew that what these CM Punk was in TNA before he was big. So yes, of course, if we knew the talent that this person actually possessed and the management was there and they spotted that and they're like, oh shit, we can make something of this kid, then they should have. But they weren't good with, to me, besides for the African Americans wrestlers and women, Asians kind of were always the hard to watch part of Impact or TNA, excuse me, because I don't know if it was Jarrett or who had the book, but they were never really given the due credit that they should have, or the gimmick that would have put them over. They were just Asian guy. And so I can understand from that perspective, from New Japan's perspective, how that is disrespectful. And I can also see how in a country bumpkin like Dixie and Jeff would say, well, I don't know, we were just trying to do something with them. So I'm sure it's there somewhere, but do I think he's next to come? I really hope so. I think we'll slowly bleed this till the summer when things loosen up, supposedly. But we also have to take into consideration the only reason FinJuice was probably there is because they probably live in the States. Yeah. So I doubt Okada lives in the States. I think we would see a more American.
Yeah, but then Kenta came to based Impact. So I don't know. I don't know how it goes, but
does he? Maybe he still lives in Orlando.
Maybe. I mean, he might. Yeah. Hanging out with Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, or avoiding them. I mean, let's be realistic. Probably avoiding them. So, real quick, Jeff, I have a sixth topic that I have a question for you about something we talked about last time.
Later.
So, we had talked about a mid-card title for Impact. You said you don't think Impact needs one.
Not right now, no. Yeah.
I saw this idea on Reddit, and I really liked it. What about a interpromotional title that is defended between Impact, AEW, and New Japan that basically can be defended by anybody on any product, challenged by anybody on any product, as kind of it would not always be an Impact mid-card title, but it's kind of a title that's introduced. Right. Like, where you could have two New Japan guys wrestling in Impact for the title just because that's where they happen to be. What do you think about that?
Here's the problem with it for me. Do I like the idea? Yeah, that lit me up. That's pretty cool. There's two ways you could go with it, though. Either you call it a global championship, which I want nothing to do with that name, from our past, issues. But if the person who holds the title is the representative of the union, right? Whatever we call it, but it's a union of groups, or the territories getting back up together. Does that make them the real world champion?
I mean, it depends who's going for it, I think. Because let's be realistic. Is Kenny Omega going to want to go for this championship? Probably not. He's got his own world title. He's the AEW champion. Is Rich Swann? No. Just kind of and now, does the X Division champion want to go after the world title? Sometimes yes. Sometimes he's like, hey, I like my X Division. So I don't necessarily. I think you can, just like the IWGP world champion, is he going to want to go over this? Probably not, because he has that title. This is just more of you could, as horrible as it is, you could literally take, because unfortunately they're not doing anything with it, it's just a combined. The IWGP Intercontinental Championship is right now held. They're whoever holds the IWGP World Heavyweight holds the IWGP Intercontinental. So you could literally split those apart. And then this person could, let's say whoever holds it shows up on Impact and says, I'm going to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that they agree on, but basically storyline-wise, I'm going to defend this title. It's the Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to defend it wherever I go, in any promotion, wherever. And then you just have him, he loses it to somebody in AEW. And then that person's like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And then it just kind of is maybe not necessarily something that the promotions get together and decide we're going to make this. Maybe it's just a wrestler that says, hey, I have this belt, and then I'm just going to do it that way. Just as kind of something.
Yeah, I don't need Matt Cardona bringing out his internet title.
I'm talking a real title, but I'm just saying, you use, maybe it's the IWGP US title.
I get what you're saying, and I think for that to work, it can't have a name of any of those promotions. It also, to make it not be the real world's champion, you would have to put a name or gimmick on it that said that, which is maybe Iron Man champion, or not that, but you know what I mean? Something along the lines of someone who defends it a lot, or Journeyman's champion, or whatever it may be, to explain the fact that when you hold this title, you travel and do a stint in Impact for a month. Then you go to AEW for a month, then to New Japan, then ROH, whatever it may be, so you can continue that, title's involvement. But I think it could work. You just have to come up with a name that doesn't say this is the champion of champions.
Lucha mentioned NWA. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion ain't doing shit with that. Have somebody walk over there, beat up Nick Aldis, and bring that shit back and be like, you know what? I'll defend this wherever.
That's true, because that is a travel champion.
Or like, or I was thinking, like I said, I was thinking the IWGP Intercontinental, just because right now they're just having whoever holds. The past couple times, every match has been IWGP and Intercontinental. So you just have somebody wrestle on back-to-back nights, lose the IWGP Intercontinental because he's tired, and then you just have the wrestler be like, you know what? It's an Intercontinental belt. I'm going to defend it on every continent I go to, any promotion I wrestle in. Who's going to challenge? And then it just kind of becomes the storyline of that belt.
Yeah, well, it's a great idea. We'll make sure we put it out.
Tell Gallows to call some people up and make sure I get my credit for my idea when it happens.
I'm already waiting for some stuff from Gallows, so I'm going to hold off on the favor asking. But speaking of that, without trying to spoil that, he'll be helping us a little bit, I hope, still with the next Hard 10 game show. So we're waiting on that. But the contestant on that Hard 10 game show is who we're actually going to have join us right after this break, because we're going to play a game called Trolling Hard Challenge. So bear with us. I'm going to throw it to Craig. Max, if you could do some work, try to get Lucha on here, figure out how to do that, and maybe send him an invite, Craig. I don't know if that'd be the easiest way. And we'll play a game. Okay. Do you want to?
Yeah. I can...
All right. We're going to go ahead and cut to our video as we figure this stuff out.
Okay. Sounds good. Hi. I'm Jeff from the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling channel. If you're anything like me, each and every Tuesday on Access TV, 8 p.m. Eastern, you watch Impact Wrestling with great excitement. And yet, a little trepidation. Although we have risen like a phoenix, there is one void that remains to be filled. Lucky for us, yes, you, can help me solve our problem. You can fill my void. By joining our efforts and donating as little as 99 cents, the Sabat Foundation will continue the charge in securing what is rightfully ours. With more information on this, we throw it to Craig.
Thanks, Jeff. A war is upon us, ladies and gents, and if you too like to be on the good side of history, we implore you to donate now. Head on over to GoFundMe and simply search Get Our Tunnels Back from AEW to do your part. Every last penny of profit will be, with complete transparency, offered to Mr. Khan in the hopes of retrieving these hostages. As a thank you, for every $5 you donate, you will receive a raffle ticket that holds a chance to win a limited #SellUsBackOurTunnels t-shirt.
So what are you waiting for? Go to GoFundMe.com/F/Sabat now. These tunnels cannot speak for themselves. These tunnels cannot cross the line on their own. Help us bring them home. Help us make an impact. Donate in the next 20 minutes and receive a big thank you from the TNAIW crew. All profits will be offered to Tony Khan and AEW in full. If the offer is not accepted, or Impact doesn't go away, proceeds will be given and spread amongst other content creators of Impact that we enjoy. Thank you.
Hey, and we're back. All right.
Let me see if I can figure this out here.
All right, so we're going to clean it up real quick, and we're going to play a game. While Max is doing that, I'm going to describe how we're going to play this. So you're going to see Max and myself, joined by Lucha, the master of the power rankings, which, we forgot to upload, so we'll put that out as a tweet afterwards. I apologize. We were kind of last minute doing some things. So this game, Trolling Hard Challenge, is going to be very interactive from you guys, too. If you're in the chat or watching this on YouTube, you can play along because there's no answering or anything wrong here, or there's no wrong answer. So how the game's going to work is Max, myself, and Lucha are going to stare straight into the camera, and Craig is going to one by one.
Ah!
Hey, there.
He's fucking giant.
Lucha. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, man. So we're all going to look forward. Craig is going to take the reins here, and he is going to read a trolling comment that he found about Impact Wrestling in one way or another, and he's going to read it out loud. When he says it, we will have 5 seconds to try not to make a face or try not to defend the stance for Impact. Okay? So you will lose 1 point if you make a face. Craig will keep score or call out the face making. And you lose 2 points if you feel the need to defend Impact. All right, so Craig, I'm going to pass it to you.
I have no idea why Lucha is randomly changing sizes. He just is. So I can't figure that out. But randomly he goes from big to little. So it just I don't know what's happening, but whatever. I'm just going with it.
Damn. Treehouse.
Can't figure that shit out.
Okay.
Oh wait, are you doing this from a phone?
Yeah.
There.
It's not turning. It's just shrinking the picture.
Oh.
It's really fucking weird. I don't know.
All right, well let's have a go. Craig, let's do this, bud.
So yeah, I want to say that I found pretty much all these on Facebook on the fire dumpster fire that is Facebook on the Impact pages. A few came from our chat, thanks to Hakeem. But let's go straight into it. So I'm keeping a close eye. First one. And I quote, "Swan looks homeless. Moose spear sucks." Again, Swan looks homeless. Moose spear sucks.
I agree that Rich Swann looks homeless, so I'm not gonna. I mean, I agree with that statement.
It took a lot of fight.
Oh, Max, lock him. Lock in Lucha.
He is locked.
No, he's not. I'm looking at it.
No, it's the picture is changing. It's not.
And it's amplifying my face on now.
Yeah, it's not me dragging it. It's just changing the size.
I know, but I'm saying I think your mouse was tweaking and it was doing that.
Maybe.
See, now he's good. There we go. Okay, yeah. So I think we all did well. I was trying to hold the laugh. Craig, you saying homeless is. I know it's not funny, but oh shit, that's good. All right, so give us 5 seconds on each. We're all tied right now, I would say, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay, and this one is from Twitter. It's from Alex Shelley about AJ Styles stepping up to help the main event Mafia. So, wow. Thank goodness I left before this. Just wow.
Okay. Everything AJ Styles does is phenomenal. Alex Shelley would be lucky to even share a ring with AJ Styles. So,
Okay, that's max 2 points down.
It's fine. I'll take those deductions. I don't give a crap.
I knew that one was coming. I knew it. I knew it would get this out.
All right, so Lucha and I are in the lead with 0.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got a feeling this one might get you. Okay, and I quote, "Eric Young is the David Arquette of TNA." That's maxed out. It's max minus
I'm
a
okay
point.
with that. I know he's got to be talking about old Eric Young, but that shit's so funny. When Eric,
that might have been the hardest.
like when Eric Young was like digging through the trash can and found the titles. God, that was some like peak Eric Young right there, man.
Who said this, Craig?
It came up in our
Facebook?
group chat. Hakeem shared it. So I thought I'd use that one.
David Arquette. Wow. I've heard some stuff in my day.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Wow. Okay. All right. Are you're gonna repeat it, right, Craig? 5 seconds repeat.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
once
I'll
again,
just all right.
Eric Young is the David Arquette of TNA.
It's funny because it's true.
Okay.
All right.
Now you can
Jesus.
break it.
I'm about to cry.
Troll's gonna troll, man.
But yeah. Again, from Facebook. Oh wow, Impact is still around. Okay. And once again, oh wow, Impact is still around.
Ah, fuck it. That is the most cliche, stupid, simple-minded statement. I can't they be original? Oh, that's like me watching turning on. Oh, Jeopardy's still around. Well, you don't even know what Jeopardy is, Craig. But yeah, no shit. It's been on for 30
Hold on,
years.
they don't have
Like,
Jeopardy in England?
no.
Wow.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I thought you said you didn't know what Jeopardy is.
I know. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know I don't know the format.
Is it the
I've
same
heard of
guy? Is it? Well, it's not anymore, obviously. But is it like a British
No.
host in your guys' Jeopardy, or do you just like replay the American episodes?
I think a bit of both. I think we've got our own version, but yeah.
It's
Play
the
the
guy
old-
from Chase.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, all right. I think I lost there. Oh, Lucha still
That's
leave
fine.
at 0. All right. Hey, what's up, Hakeem? Hakeem, the American Dream.
Oh my god.
All right, let's do this.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's again from Facebook. This is in reference to the Tommy Dreamer, Rich Swann, Moose, and Chris Bay tag team match from a few weeks ago. And I quote, "All are waste. John Cena is best."
What does that even mean?
I'm assuming he means that John Cena is better than all 4 of them. John Cena has like 5 moves that he does.
And we can't see the guy, so like, what the hell?
Yeah, he's not even wrestling anymore.
You've seen Cena on more Impact TV than WWE TV in the past year, thanks to experience.
That's true. And isn't it Mountain Dew now that he's selling people?
Dude is on everything.
That water, by the way, that watermelon Mountain Dew is fire. It is so good.
It is.
It's fire in your
Dude,
butthole
I
after you
love it.
drink
Dude,
bro.
I would take that.
So
It
bad
is
for
so good. Dude,
I'm just jealous.
Okay.
Worth it.
love watermelon.
One more time.
Oh, this is
Okay,
it.
ready? One more time. All are waste. John Cena is best. Okay. Again, I got a feeling this one might get you as well. Again, from Facebook. Imagine being in such poor shape that Brooke Hogan is your good old days.
But she's not the good old days. Like that's just not true.
That's the point of the troll.
But that's not even like a good troll.
Actually get minus
Like
2. None of them, Ben.
Like that's just a shitty troll. That would be like saying, "Oh, look, Brett Favre. Imagine the good old days being when you were on the Jets." Hey, bitch, that ain't the good old days. Like that's just you're just an idiot. Like
it's about as good as they can get old days with them.
I mean,
yeah. So to catch everyone up in the chat, if you guys are a late joiner here, so we're doing the game called Trolling Hard Challenge. Craig has picked a bunch of different ones also that you guys put in the chat room, and he's going to read them to us. We have 5 seconds to not react to it. You lose 1 point if you make a face, 2 if you talk and defend Impact. All right, Craig, let's continue.
So, again, quickly, imagine being in such poor shape that Brooke Hogan is your good old days. Okay. Again, from that dumpster fire on his Facebook, someone actually named a company TNA? Question mark. That's wild. Okay.
What did you go back and get these from? What, 2004? When did you?
Right.
When did you find these?
This
I'd say
one was from an old Impact posted a Impact Plus thing. This one was from, I think, if I remember, it was from Magnus joining the Main Event Mafia.
Oh, that makes sense.
Greatest stable of all time.
Yeah, it's been almost 4 years since they were like.
I know. What is?
They were Global Force Wrestling more recently than they were TNA.
Well, the one night only. But yes, you're right. It's once again a stupid narrative, and as Hakeem and Cody are mentioning there, hey guys, that's the point of this. The trolling no longer is good. They have nothing left to say unless someone says something stupid like Brooke Hogan was the good old days. So then I guess they play out. There is a person I won't mention on Twitter that loves Brooke Hogan's TNA days. So maybe they were responding to them.
I mean, Brooke Hogan was solid.
Craig, I think you know this person.
It's probably Craig. No. Brooke Hogan and Joker Sting are Craig's good old days of Impact.
I mean, I did have a poster, a cutout picture of Brooke Hogan on my wall, so I was like 16 at the time though.
I mean, I can't say much. Velvet Sky was the good old days for me.
I mean, I watched Brooke Knows Best episode 1. I mean, that's about it, really.
At least Velvet did something. I'm defending Velvet. That's how bad Brooke Hogan is. Velvet did something.
Brooke Hogan did something. She forced Bully Ray to join Aces and Eights.
I screwed you.
She was so bad. Yeah. Bully was like, "Yo, I'm gonna turn on this company. Screw this."
Okay. We have 2 more. It's short and sweet, and I'm sure we all remember it. Hashtag fuck that owl. Okay. And react.
That was hard.
When was that? Was that when they first? Oh no, that was when Matt Hardy was doing all his thing, right?
Yeah, that was all Rebby.
Yeah.
That was Rebby. Yeah. Bestiality is a sin. Good job, Cody. So is homicide.
Homicide? Well, that's true.
That's true. I don't know about Anarchia. I don't know about how that squeezes in.
I think that's...
All right, we got one more?
I think that's maybe... That wrestler's a sin, but I don't know about Anarchia in general.
All right, Craig, let's hit our last one, and then we can talk the chat.
Yes.
Right.
So, and this one is a direct quote from a certain James E. Cornette.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
Fuck.
All right.
I like quote. TNA is the Donald Trump of wrestling.
And wasn't that motherfucker fired from NWA for being racist? I feel like he was removed from NWA for being racist. That would be like a Klansman being like, "Screw that Donald Trump guy. He's what?" Like,
let's not go political.
I'm just saying, just in general. Like, how are you going to sit there?
I don't know what is the connection.
Jim Cornette's
No.
Jim Cornette is an absolute idiot.
I saw it on his
If that's the case, then wouldn't Cornette be like one of the first guys that Trump hired then fired?
I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. Like, Jim Cornette makes Mark Madden look like the smartest man in the world. Like, that is how stupid Jim Cornette is. Take that back.
Jim Cornette, to his defense, and I rarely do that, Max. You know I travel around the world to yell at Jim Cornette at his merch stands. True story. Mark Madden once said that Shannon Moore was the HBK of the Y2K. Shannon Moore, Book of Dillygaff, was the next Shawn Michaels. So I don't want to hear.
I can't stand Mark Madden. Like, Mark Madden is an absolute moron. I hate that bastard. But I would still, if I had to hang out with him or Jim Cornette, I would still choose Mark Madden. Like, if you were like, look, man, you've your own personal hell, hang out with Mark Madden or Jim Cornette. I would rather, because at least with Mark Madden, as much as I hate that bastard, he's from Pittsburgh. I could at least talk hockey with him, or I could beat him up over his horrible Juju Smith-Schuster takes. One of the two.
You couldn't beat up Jim Cornette?
I'm sure I could, but I'm sure I'd probably beat up both of them at the same time.
Let's see what this. Who is more bitter at Impact Wrestling, Jim Cornette and Nick Aldis? I'm going to say Nick Aldis because he does it real douchey, and as we talked about in this, it's very slight and snick, whatever. A little bit of that, I guess. But Jim Cornette is just making money and being loud.
Yeah, Jim Cornette hates everybody.
I hate him.
Like, he hates anything that isn't like 1980s wrestlers. Like, that's what he, like, if it was up to Jim Cornette, he would bring everything back to the 80s, maybe the 60s, maybe going back a little bit further, but like, that's what his like dream of wrestling is. It's like when Ric Flair was traveling around everything. That is, though.
And I'm like, we're not even thinking about you, Nick Aldis. Like, we're not even thinking about the British invasion. We think about Doug Williams more than you, ho. So why is our name even
like?
Do you know what? You know what I think about Nick Aldis the most about, besides his wife, obviously, is he's the one of the reasons that we have a bad relationship with New Japan, right? Didn't we take the belts off the Dudleys without approving it from them and then giving it to
and they got pissed. So the last time prior to this episode I thought about Nick Aldis is when I was reading about NWA, and I happened to be like, man, who the hell is the NWA champion? And then I realized it was Nick Aldis, and he's been their champion since like 1994 or some shit like that. Like,
well, almost as long as Walter
852 UK champ. Here, you want to talk about how bad NWA is? They took the title off Cody Rhodes to give it to Nick Aldis.
Yeah, but that's
for his, and he's held it for 852 days. That is currently, hold on, I'm gonna look here. That is the longest reign since Dan Severn held it back in '95.
That's Max. Devon is still holding the TV title, right? So
which one?
Was it him or is it Abyss?
Abyss is the TV champion.
Oh, Abyss is?
Yeah.
I thought on the debut of Destination America, Kurt just vacated it off of Devon.
They got rid of those titles.
He was on the. He was up top. Right. Yeah, he just chalked. He's like, and the TV title's gone. And
yeah,
moved on. I'm
not
NWA
sure. Still actually exists though, so he's like an actual champion.
Yeah,
852 days.
Hashtag Nikki James, everybody. Hashtag Nikki James. Nikki James.
I wouldn't be so mad. I wouldn't be so mad at the 3 billion year title run if he would have, had some nice defenses instead of against guys like Ricky Morton and fucking question mark.
I had dinner with Ricky Morton.
One of our friends got called Ricky Morton at a wrestling show.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. He said he got up and he got up and he was slow about it. This is fucked up. I'm gonna say it anyways. He got up slow, looked around so everyone could acknowledge him, and then we finally all stood. Okay, whatever. And he goes, "This was a great honor and privilege," and then just walked away for good. Never saw him again. Majestic, the majestic dinner that was.
We ran up on him. Well, we were in the elevator with him at WrestleCade last 2019, and we were like, "Oh shit, it's Ricky Morton." We went to shake his hand. He's like, "No, hell no, brother, come here!" And he gave me and my cousin a hug. We're like, "Oh my god, Ricky Morton just gave us a hug. This is amazing."
He will give John Cena a run for his money on loudest spot calling too during a match. Were you there for that, Max? I can't remember.
I don't know. I wasn't.
No, maybe it was me and Johnny. We went to that show at the baseball park, and he was there, and just yelling him out. Him out.
So Nick Aldis has held on his second reign the NWA title longer than any one single reign of Ric Flair's. Ric Flair has held that title for a grand total of 3,000 days, but none of his reigns were longer than Nick Aldis' 852 days.
But how many times, Daddy?
10 times. Nick Aldis is on number 2 and is already 7th on the all-time list.
What was that last? How long did that last run last? His first one?
256 days.
Damn, this dude's Bobby Roode.
I thought it was okay. So the person that held it before him was
Bobby Roode had better title than
the person that held it before him was Tim Storm. I thought it was Tony Storm. I was like, wait a second, isn't she the?
Max, come on, Tim Storm, man.
I mean, I'm just looking through everything. I'm just looking through the titles, and then before that was a bunch of people I don't know.
I actually saw Nick Aldis versus Doug Williams for a match for the number one contender spot to face Cody for the NWA title. And oh my god, worst match I've ever seen. The first show I went to.
God,
horrible.
That's
WrestleCade 2018. The main event was Nick Aldis versus Jake Hager for the NWA World Title, and it was a great show up until that point. And when Nick Aldis came out, we left.
Oh man, we're just bad.
Nick Aldis has held the NWA title longer than AJ Styles ever did. That's just disgraceful.
He hold it longer than Jarrett.
I mean, yes, Jeff Jarrett. Hold on.
Could we?
Also Jeff Jarrett's close. Jeff Jarrett held it for 1,005 days, probably over 6 reigns, which is impressive. I would have assumed that would have been over 1 reign. But I guess he was looking for a number of titles, number of reigns.
Jarrett held it for 1,004 days too many. That fucking
1,007.
1,000. Oh, let's also acknowledge, Max. I have to acknowledge this. The British invasion facing each other in front of Craig and sucking it up is the equivalent of the Johnsons doing the same to you, right? Like if they had a match against each other and just bombed, how bad would you feel?
I mean, so I joke about the Johnsons, but I don't actually like the Johnsons. Like, it sounded really bad.
I don't like British Invasion.
You what?
Like, I don't know where that's come from.
You don't like British Invasion?
I don't like the British Invasion.
How can you not like British Invasion? You're British.
Max, do you like Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
I mean, if there was a Virginia invasion, I'd root for them.
Fair.
Virginia.
I mean, you got Chris Bay.
I mean, hell yeah, I'll root for him.
And the Mickey James, the good one.
I'll root for her. I won't root for Nikki James, but I'll root for Mickey James.
Yeah.
Who else we got? I mean,
I like Doug Williams.
I love Doug Williams.
Right. I mean, Rob Terry, like, I kind of met him before wrestling.
Would he beat you up for your lunch money?
Hey, wasn't there a moment where Desmond Wolfe was a part of the British invasion for like a cup of tea?
No, well, it was him and Magnus were starting a new tag team, and it was with Chelsea, and they would do vignettes where they'd go to the mall on escalators and be them shopping. I don't know. It was weird, man. My memory of TNA is insane. I don't know how to get from here to work without the GPS, but I can tell you what goes on.
Kid Cash is from Virginia. I like him.
Hell yeah.
Who?
Kid Cash.
He didn't steal your credit card, so you probably do.
Remember when we saw him on Impact brutalize that guy for no reason? Just.
Oh, I love Kid Cash. Kid Cash could do no wrong. Yeah, he beat the shit out of someone's nuts, right?
Adam Page is from
matter.
Adam Page. I thought he. How's this man gonna pretend he's from? Oh shit! Adam Page went to Virginia Tech, my new favorite. Well, top 10. Mojo Rawley,
top 15. I know he went to Maryland, but damn, I didn't know he was from
Byron
Virginia.
Saxon's from Virginia.
Guys, you just tuned into the Virginia version of the Talking Nonsense.
Brian Kendrick is from Fairfax. Okay. I guess I understand not liking people.
Don't let me start throwing North Carolina cats out.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Brian Kendrick was G's favorite.
There's some good
X Division champion ever.
He was mine.
Next
One of mine.
All right, let's find.
The Art of War, baby. The Art of War. Who remembers Nick Aldis as Gladiator? Hell yeah, I remember Gladiator Brutus Magnus. That stupid helmet. I think, who did the throwback? Was it Storm in the hardcore match? Oh, Craig, are we losing you there?
Probably.
Just say something about Shark Boy. He'll come back.
Craig, are you there, bud?
I can hear him. The Johnsons are from Florida, by the way.
Shark Boy.
Or they were trained in Florida.
Who's
the
that?
Johnsons.
Oh my God, with the Johnsons.
They were in WWE too.
You're actually okay. They were, the Shane twins. That's why Michael Shane had to go to Matt Bentley.
Not as the Johnsons.
Did Craig, wasn't he a gladiator on your actual, like, what do you guys call it? British Gladiator? We have American Gladiator. Yeah.
When they rebooted it, and his name was Oblivion.
Oblivion?
Oblivion?
Was he good or was he bad?
That was his stripper name, I think.
Because if you watch some of the old American Gladiator episodes, when they do the one where you have to put the ball in the little, like,
I love that.
Like the cylinders, those gladiators, man, they would fuck those people up. Like it was like
Nitro.
Yeah, like you would see this dude. He's like, "Hi, my name's Steve. I'm 162 pounds," and he'd go running to put that ball in, and it's one of the gladiators just come out of nowhere and just like level him. It almost reminded me when Pat White got de-shoed by Joey Porter.
It
It was like that.
Screw you, Max. Screw you.
I think Pat White's spine is still flying somewhere in Miami after that.
Yeah. They saved him some money on the burial. They just sort of left him there.
Left him right there. Threw some dirt on him.
Yeah. But yeah, Nick Aldis. Are we still shitting on him? What are we doing? We got 10 minutes. You guys got something in the chat you want to talk about?
We just go off on a rant on everybody through TNA Impact history that we hate.
So, I mean, H. Fullerton said Dixie not giving Billy Corgan control of Impact is the smartest decision she's ever made. I agree.
I agree.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's weird because when that happened, I like Smashing Pumpkins. I don't know Billy as a human being, so I was intrigued by it.
I was excited.
And it looked like it gave everyone some motivation. But then it just the stuff that was coming out by him and the people he was bringing in was just it was rough.
The greatest creative input, the only good creative input that Corgan had was having Decay's theme song be the Nobodies.
Yep.
Yes.
That's about it.
We should have got Marilyn Manson singing Decay out at Bound for Glory. It should have happened, but
that would have been sick.
At the time, now you look back on it, all the stuff going on, we probably would have got in trouble for it with Sheets. God, how dare you bring him on there and sing a theme song of a show? Stupid. Stupid. What a stupid world we live in.
As they have Bad Bunny as a 24/7 champ, but we.
I mean, does he still have it?
And we got Shaq versus Cody going on.
Oh my god.
Well, Bad Bunny is the David Arquette of WWE.
I mean, he almost killed himself when he jumped off the.
He's the Eric Young of WWE.
Yeah.
No, That's not Bad Bunny. Wait till Bow Wow makes his WWE debut, and he's the one who dethrones Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Wait for it.
There ain't nobody
Like
dethroning Roman Reigns for that title. Vince right now is like, the fact that Roman Reigns is over as a heel, Vince has got to be in that back just like loving every minute. He's, oh my God, it finally happened. This is what I was waiting for my entire life. Like, people have been crying for Roman Reigns to be a heel forever.
Well, we're not talking about that, but as far as is Bow Wow, right? In that movie, he got, a pair of Jordan shoes and could ball like him?
Like Mike.
So he gets Austin's knee brace.
That would be hilarious.
Knee brace and Rock's right elbow. He just throws off.
He just starts elbowing people. He's got one move, but damn, is it good?
So
we should be careful because Vince could be watching this and he might actually do it. And then when he does, we're going to look back at each other and be pissed.
Bow Wow is going to be on the sneak, the Petey Williams of the
That's so, like, if you go to Bad Bunny's Wikipedia page under championships and accomplishments, the only thing that's there is WWE 24/7 championship. Like, you have no other accomplishment. You're a recording artist, and your accomplishment is WWE 24/7 champion.
Damn, dude couldn't even get the Nick's Choice Awards.
And that's to be a message for musicians. If you try really hard and apply your craft, you too one day can be WWE 24/7 champion.
You could win a prop as well. Yeah, it's a great
6+ days.
Save the music.
Oh, he is actually champion.
Yeah, he beat Akira Tozawa.
Hey, he on SNL tonight?
Wait, Akira Tozawa's still there?
Yeah.
Question: who's held the belt longer? Aldis with the NWA belt or Truth with the 24/7?
So belt? Truth only has it. So combined days recognized by WWE is
6 hours?
Only 3. I mean, it's 351. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't. So here's the thing.
Wait,
altogether he's held it 351 days. Rob Gronkowski is second at 57 days. Riddick Moss has 40. Mojo has 25. Shelton Benjamin has 20. Drake Maverick 22. Samir Singh 18. Akira Tozawa 20. Elias held it for 14 days. Carmella held it for 11. Another one of the Singhs held it for 9. Drew Gulak and Maria Kanellis both held it for 6. Same with Bad Bunny. Angel Garza held it for 4. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Max, can you count to yourself, bro? Jesus Christ.
There's 32 people who have held it for less than a day. EC3 has held it 4 times. Total combined reign is less than a day.
I wonder who held the belt longer, EC3 or Maria Menounos?
Maria held it too?
Probably.
I think they held it for the same amount of time. I can't find her on here. Marshmallow.
EC3, 58 minutes.
Oh, is that what it was?
Raquel, hey. Yeah, no, just ask anything you want. This is the part of the show you can ask. So Raquel was on, was it Tough Enough?
Yeah.
And she was what was her call to fame? The hair color. She was with the Bromance for a hot second.
Wasn't she the one who would
was
appear to Lashley every so often?
Yes, she was
speak to Lashley and stuff. Yeah,
she was kind of what they were trying to do with Scarlett a little bit. They had like the imagery of like the I won't say what was Scarlett's thing? Not Bombshell.
Smoke Show.
It was something similar, but they had her come out and try to distract Lashley, but they kept teasing it with all these graphics and stuff, and no one knew it was. Yeah, she did do about as much as King.
And it was all cool until she opened her mouth and couldn't talk for shit.
Or wrestled.
Yeah.
She's the rebel of.
I was about to say, kind of like, Rebel, man. She's horrible with her grunting.
Okay. Raquel versus Katie Forbes versus Rebel in a 3-way.
You got to add who was
wrestling match.
Yeah, but who was in that match with on the knockouts?
Jenna Maraska?
No. The one where she was got hit in the vag.
Beta Scott.
Salinas.
Yeah.
The vampire. What the frick is her name?
Shelly Martinez.
Thank you. It was her versus Rebel, right? When
I think so.
My bad.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we got three. Shelly Martinez. Thank you, Kurt, for listening. Well, it was a fun, quick episode. Thank you to Lucha for joining us here. Little bit sloppy today. We'll get back on track. And starting next week, we'll have continued the trend of having some kind of game you guys could play along. And if you want to be the person that comes in and plays along with us, let us know, as Lucha did. Look out for our power rankings every Wednesday now. Every Tuesday, we still have Cody doing Is It Tuesday? Fitting. And then we'll be here every Saturday night live, 7:30 to 9. And then Lucha will be rejoining us for the Hard 10 game show, which will be reintroduced next month. The reason we keep pushing back is because we got a little help from Gallows coming along with that, if you didn't hear earlier. So it'll be a good time. And then Craig, do you want to talk about what you're doing next?
Yeah, so starting, I'm assuming this Monday, plan is this Monday, but every Monday I'll be doing a State of Impact, where I talk about what we're doing on the podcast and also what's happening in Impact. Maybe take a little something from the sheets, see if anything seems legit, and obviously I'll be here for everything else pretty much.
Yeah. So he'll be doing like a news style show where he's going to go through the dirts and everything else and just kind of give you a altogether roundup of what happened over the week or weekend that you might have missed and you're just getting back off your weekend and start the week right for us and for Impact. So try some new things, do some fun things, and then our unboxing finally comes next week, I hope. There was some things in that, but I'll give you guys, since you're watching this, the spoiler. The unboxing is the 10-pack set of Impact Micro Minis that was exclusive to Toys R Us. I won't tell you who's in it, but it's a good time. And it is the first time since I've owned it, it came out in 2010. So 11 years I have not opened it. So it'll be fun. I'll get to touch these little things, and that sounded weird as it came out of my mouth. I said,
and it's not getting any better.
Then I'm gonna put them in my pants, and then I'm gonna wait. What the fuck is going? All right, guys. Let's all say goodbye and get the hell out of here before it's TNAIW after dark.
Oh man.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.